Hey man, let me tell you something important. Something I wish someone had told me sooner. You know that feeling when she suddenly stops texting or calling and you're stuck in that weird space of confusion, wondering what's going on? Trust me, I've been there. But there's a truth buried in that silence that you need to hear clearly. And I'm not here to preach. I'm telling you this like I would if we were just chilling and you told me what's been going on. Because I know what it's like to keep checking your phone, rereading old messages, wondering if you did something wrong. But her silence, it's not just absence, it's communication. And once you start understanding what that silence is actually saying, things start making a lot more sense. So let's break it down, one truth at a time. Point 1. Busy is just an excuse. Bro, how many times have you heard someone say, "Sorry, I've just been busy"? Now think about this. How many people in your life are actually busy as hell but still find the time to check in on you, send a meme, or drop a voice note? When someone wants to talk to you, they make it happen. You don't have to remind them you exist. So when she stops reaching out and blames it on being busy, you have to stop taking that at face value. Because the truth is, we always make time for what we truly care about. If she's not texting, calling, or checking in, it's not because life got in the way. It's because you're not high on the priority list anymore. And I know that stings, but it's better to know where you stand than to keep holding on to false hope. Emotional availability is not something you should have to earn through patience. It should be freely given by someone who values you. Point 2. If she cared, you wouldn't be guessing. Let's be real, caring isn't vague. When someone genuinely cares about you, they don't leave you hanging in confusion. You feel safe in their presence and secure in their absence. You don't have to decode texts or wonder why the energy feels different. Mixed signals aren't mysterious, they're manipulative, even if unintentional. If she cared deeply, her actions would speak louder than any excuse. Real interest brings peace, not anxiety. So if you find yourself constantly analyzing her messages or her silence, that's not love. That's emotional instability dressed up as romantic tension. A woman who truly wants you will make sure you never have to doubt it. Point 3. You're not the problem, the dynamic is. Here's what too many men get wrong. We internalize her emotional distance as our failure. We wonder if we were too soft, too eager, too emotional. But that's shame. It's misplaced. Her inconsistency is not proof of your inadequacy. It's proof that the connection isn't mutual or that she's emotionally unavailable. And that's on her. Think of it like this. Relationships are like a dance. You can't do a slow, steady waltz if the other person is dancing to a completely different rhythm or not dancing at all. It doesn't mean you're a bad dancer. It means you're dancing with the wrong person. If the relationship makes you feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells, adjusting your tone, hiding your needs, or becoming a version of yourself you barely recognize, that's not love, that's emotional compromise. And while compromise is healthy, self-abandonment is not. So stop twisting yourself into emotional knots to keep her interested. Your worth isn't up for debate. The right woman won't need you to shrink, chase, or prove anything. She'll recognize your value and meet you with equal energy. Point 4. Silence doesn't mean wait. It means walk. You know what keeps most guys stuck? It's the fantasy. The idea that maybe she's just going through something, maybe she needs time, maybe tomorrow she'll reach out. That kind of hope feels romantic, but it's really just a trap. Because silence is never neutral. It's not a placeholder, it's a decision. When someone stops talking to you, stops checking in, stops showing up, they're already stepping away, even if they don't say it out loud. Waiting around doesn't make you loyal, it makes you stuck. You deserve clarity, not confusion, and I want you to see silence for what it really is. Closure without the courtesy. It's not your job to wait until she remembers your worth. It's your responsibility to remember it yourself. Stop interpreting silence as a sign to hold on. It's a sign to move on. Because the longer you stay in that in-between space, the more you delay the peace and connection that's actually meant for you. Doors that close by themselves don't need to be reopened. They need to be respected. Point 5. Don't chase attention. Protect your energy. Let me tell you something most guys don't realize until it's too late. Every time you chase someone who keeps pulling away, you're not just losing time. You're leaking self-worth. You start thinking, if I just say the right thing or show her how much I care, maybe she'll come around. But that mindset, that's exactly what drains your power, because the more you try to prove yourself to someone who isn't emotionally available, the more disconnected you become from your own value. And the longer you chase, the more you teach your nervous system that love has to be earned, that attention is conditional, that your needs are inconvenient. You start lowering your standards just to keep the conversation going. That's not love. That's survival mode. Real love doesn't feel like begging. It feels like being seen without having to audition. You don't need to win her over with more effort. You need to remember who you are. Protect your energy like it's your last dollar, because once you spend it on someone who doesn't value it, getting that energy back takes time, and healing from that kind of emotional debt is not a quick process. Someone who wants you won't make you chase. They'll meet you where you are because they recognize your worth without needing a reminder. So here's the bottom line, bro. Her silence isn't punishment, it's protection. It's the universe stepping in and saying, this person isn't for you. It's the clearest message she could ever send, even if she didn't say a word. The real ones won't leave you guessing. They'll be present, they'll be consistent, and they'll make sure you never feel like you have to question your worth. And the moment you start treating yourself the way you've been hoping she would treat you, that's when everything changes. That's when the right kind of people start showing up. Because the energy you protect becomes the energy you attract. You're not meant to be half-loved. You're meant to be seen, chosen, and respected. Never forget that. You got this.